Strap on, everybody, because you are going to learn something by the end of this video. I got breaking news less than 1 hour ago. Coinbase has received answer from the SEC about the writ of mandamus. No worries, I didn't know what that was about 10 seconds ago. I Googled it. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know by the end of this video. And what is the answer? It may be. Chief Legal Officer from Coinbase is replying and giving us a nice thread on Twitter. I'm gonna go over that with you. And earlier today, we're seeing on Watch Your Guru. I went through all the sources. I'm gonna show you guys that the United States Department of Justice wants to crack down on United States crypto exchanges. And I'll tell you who is behind it. Don't forget to smash the like button and consider subscribing to the channel, keeping you in the know and putting best information in your radar, especially the breaking ones. Today, the SEC responded to our Coinbase petition for the writ of mandamus. Now, if you know, great. I don't know. A writ of mandamus is an order from a court to an inferior government official ordering the government official to properly fulfill their official duties. What does that mean in this case? Coinbase is going to a court telling the SEC to do their job properly about undertake rulemaking for the crypto industry. Got it? The SEC answer, a resounding maybe, really. And nobody should be surprised, but this is really important. Today's filing may be the first time when the SEC has formally explained in court its views on whether and how the SEC should create rules for the crypto industry, right? The SEC told the court that rulemaking may take years and they're not in no rush. While Singapore, United Kingdom, and other countries are creating legislation, agencies, and institutions to fast forward this type of process, so they are leaders in the industry of crypto. Oh, and the United Arab the United States really is falling behind. And you can take a look at some comments. They're falling behind. I'm not the only one with this sentiment. The SEC told the court that rulemaking may take years and there's no rush. The SEC acknowledged that it will continue to use enforcement actions, the only thing they know, right, as a substitute for rulemaking for the foreseeable future. But not to worry. Those enforcement actions may eventually inform, not yet planned, rulemaking. So let's use these enforcement actions to get, in a way, some fear to these crypto exchanges and pause them and get them in court. But at the end of the day, might not be the rulemaking they're planning about. The SEC also said in a public statement that all the statements from Chair Gensler, right, Gary Gensler, are not formal guidance or policy statements from the SEC, and the public cannot rely on them as such. So obviously, because Gary Gensler is really the face of the SEC as a chair, the SEC is also saying, hey, the public statement he makes doesn't really reflect sometimes what the SEC is thinking. But hey, obviously, it's kind of nonsense sometimes. It is what it is. It's this person, the chief legal officer, Coinbase. They got the Wells notice and they're going through a lot of things. And obviously, they're not wanted to leave the United States, but they already have an international exchange and they're looking out overseas, and we don't want them to leave. That'll be very bad for the United States. Like I've said, the United States government to crack down on crypto exchanges. I saw this one earlier today and I'm like, poof. And if you take a look at the price of Bitcoin right now, this red candlestick started a couple minutes after of this news from Coinbase. So you can kind of correlate, some people selling off with the news. So guys, what's going on right here is the DOJ is targeting companies that commit crimes themselves or allow them to happen, such as enabling money laundering, she said. Who is she? Well, it's the new crypto czar. What is czar? I didn't know too. It's a person appointed by the United States or by a government to advise on and coordinate policy in a particular area. So in other words, she is the one. Yu Young Cho heads the new unit set by the Biden administration to target criminal misuse of digital assets. So she is really the one who's going to be in close contact with Gary Gensler and other different agencies, right? Because of course, they're trying to look for the consumer. They're trying to protect consumers and trying to make this space more competitive and secure. But you and I know this type of responses, well, we're seeing a maybe plus a no rush, while other countries are beating us left and right. In Canada, letting Binance go, it's just not the right response for this Web3 revolution. But they will pay some time. They will understand the great mistake they're allowing to make. Now here, this guy, I can obviously bring up crypto.com here because it is one of the exchanges that is embracing more regulation. Crypto exchanges that are against more regulation, you have to worry. You have to kind of raise your eyebrows and say, what's going on? We got to be protected. And well, the United States with this administration, they're not going to slow down, and they're going to continue to focus on platforms who will send the deterrent message to businesses that are striking anti-money laundering or client identification rules and who are not invested in solid compliance and risk mitigation procedures. Some very good exchanges like you and I use do have this. Coinbase, Gemini, and such. Like what we learned with Gemini with the lender from Gemini Genesis, right? Gemini's like, hey, we are good regulated, but they had an issue with that, and they're still trying to get our money from the Gemini earn. So all of this is on their minds, and they're going through many different avenues, right, to get answers. But according to what the SEC is saying, which they play a big part here, they're not in a rush. Sad but true, guys. It is what it is. So we can see the following, and comments come after the crypto industry was shaken last year by, guess who? The collapse of FTX. The exchange that had been widely perceived as a sound player. It's basically what kicked this off, guys. The reason why we're seeing this mostly is because of FTX, and the reason why we're seeing this treatment from the SEC, it's also because of FTX and the billions of dollars stolen just last year. So going back to the prices, it sounds super boring. I know, fam. I know we're not moving even some meme coins, right? I was mentioning earlier today that Pepe on the 7 days is not even here, right? But oh, here it is. On the loser side, it's not doing much. And some people are doing meme coins, some people are doing other things to kind of make time go faster. At the end of the day, I'm happy to see all this news. I'm happy to, at least see some progress made by the crypto companies trying to get out of their way, because this government is now embracing FedNow, CBDCs, Texas, Florida, rising up against them. We'll see how many states do the same. Thank you for watching, guys. You've been updated. It is what it is. Hopefully Coinbase does get a clear answer from the SEC and XRP wins, so we all win. Peace.